Hello everybody, Hunches here, and so Godzilla King of the Monsters is almost here, and I haven't done a single video since April? I don't know, but yeah, so today I decided to move to a topic where I've been kind of wanting to talk about ever since I started playing Godzilla Unleashed, and today's topic will be on this guy. Quiet. So, yes, Destoroyah from Godzilla Unleashed is the main topic of this video. And I've been wanting to talk about this ever since I got into the competitive scene for Unleashed. Or just Godzilla gaming in general, but that's beside the point. Destoroyah is powerful. I will give him that. The katana is very, very useful. It is one of the best weapons in the game, and so is his meteor. But let's go over those attacks first before I get into what I think about Destoroyah, like what I truly think, and why I think personally he is not the most powerful kaiju in the game. Yes, he may be like S rank, but maybe not as high as you think. So let's talk about the Horn Katana first. I don't need to really say much, but I'll say it anyway. The Horn Katana is spammable. Now there are 3 ways you can actually use it. The first one is you swing up. The second one is that you swing down. And then the third is when you sweep. And when you just use a sweeping motion. Now, the weakest one is the sweeping motion. But it's very effective for putting the opponent down or just keeping them down. While the strongest would be swinging up because it hits twice. The first hit deals the damage, but I believe the second hit it deals a slight amount of damage. But if the first one misses, then the second one deals just all the damage really. I believe it's fixed and you can't deal a lot of damage, but it's still a lot of damage regardless. And then the one that's just the middle of the road is where he slides down. I believe you should use this one for if you want to keep the opponent down or if you want to take the opponent from the air, but I don't know. You can use whatever you want with it. And yeah, you don't... Now, it doesn't take any energy and you really don't suffer any consequences from using it. So, yes, it is a very powerful weapon and it is very effective against those that really have nothing, that have no defense against it. So I will give it credit that the katana is very powerful and it is very spammable. Next, let's talk about the meteor attack, as I like to call it, or the Oxygen Destroyer, whichever you want to call it. Now, this one requires 4 bars of energy. And you may think that's a little bit screwy considering the fact that the katana doesn't require any energy and you can spam it pretty much all the time. But there is one thing that keeps the meteor as being a little bit scarier than the katana. And the meteor can actually take away 1 bar of life just from 1 hit. Now that is pretty scary. The only thing that I will say that that might be a little reassuring is that you do need 4 bars, but the sheer power of it is very frightening. And it's the range is actually pretty wide. I'm trying to run away from it. It's either gonna hit you or it's barely gonna hit you and still take away 1 life bar. And it does suck. it really does suck. And I mean, you don't even know where it's gonna come from, and the scary thing is that I mean, homes in on you, and it targets you, and it hits pretty much the location of where you're at. So very, very deadly indeed. And there is no limit to how many monsters it can hit. It can hit all 3 if it wanted to. So very, very scary right there. So with all this said about the katana and the meteor, Destoroyah really should be the most powerful character in Unleashed, right? Well, as one man once said, with great power comes with great responsibility. All I gotta say is, no. Destoroyah isn't the most powerful character in the game. And here's why. There's a line between broken and very, very powerful. Broken means there's no way you can beat the opponent. There's just no way. But very powerful means the opponent is super strong, but you could still beat them. There are ways to beat them. And Destoroyah falls into that category. He isn't broken. There are ways to beat him. And you know what? The katana and the meteor? There's 3 monsters that I could think of that can counter those weapons. Now, the first one I'm going to mention has an answer to katana, but the meteor you will have to be careful with is Mothra. Mothra has her scale dust. I don't know what you want to call it, but that attack can block the katana, but you need to be careful around the meteor. From my experience, the meteor, it hits the dust, but I'm not entirely sure if it still hits the opponent. You will have to block. That's what I recommend, at least. So it's kind of 50-50 because sometimes it doesn't hurt Mothra and then sometimes it does. So I don't know. Just be careful. But with the katana, yeah, she's immune to it. Once that powder is up, there's nothing you can do with it. I mean, yeah, sure, it's still glowing, but it's not going to strike her anytime soon. Now, there are 2 monsters that can defend against both the katana and the meteor. Those 2 are Mechagodzilla and Mecha King Ghidorah. And the katana and the meteor that people fear, well, Mechagodzilla and Mecha King Ghidorah eat those for breakfast, really. I mean, it heals them completely. The katana, it just heals them, while the meteor, it hits the shield, but then it's bounced back into the air, which is kind of funny. But yeah, Mecha King Ghidorah and Mechagodzilla pretty much eats those attacks for breakfast, really. So yeah, as you can see, those weapons, they're powerful, but there are characters that can defend against them. And you know what? Even with characters that have nothing against these weapons, they can still beat Destoroyah. Even monsters that don't have an answer to the katana and the meteor, they can still beat Destoroyah. Like Godzilla, Rodan, Jaguar, Crystalak, they can beat Destoroyah. I mean, yeah, it's going to be frustrating and difficult that they're spamming the same move over and over again, but you can still beat them. Yeah, you'll need skill, but it's not impossible. It's definitely possible to beat anybody that uses Destoroyah. And yeah, I've had my own fair share of Destroyers that spam the katana and the meteor. Was it tough? Yes, it was tough, but I still managed to do it. Just because I spam the katana and the meteor does not mean I should give up just because they're just using that 1 or 2 moves and they're just spamming it like non-stop. Like, I had to make sure that that person who spams and spams learns that just because those moves are the most powerful in the game, they're not the most powerful in the game if they can be beaten. They're weapons, but the monster that wields those weapons can be beaten. So you know what? If you want to use like Megaguirus or Megalon, do it. Use those monsters and beat Destoroyah, because it is possible. It's not impossible. So overall, Destoroyah is not the most powerful monster. He's like every other monster. He can be beaten. So in conclusion, Destoroyah is not the most powerful character in the game. That's what I will say. But I mean, hey, you know what? If you want to use him still, go on ahead. But yeah, but he's not the most powerful monster. But you can still play as him. Now, there are people that don't spam the katana or the meteor, but they're still pretty tough. Now, as for me, what do I like to do? Well, I try to make sure that I don't use the katana or the meteor. Almost I really have to use the meteor, but I try to prevent myself from using those two attacks. So I guess I'll pretty much just play as Destoroyah and just play the way I want to. So yeah, see you guys later. I gotta kick some butt.
Anguirus. Monsters, fight.
So I'll see you guys until King of the Monsters. That'll be the next video I make. And yeah, I'm hoping it's gonna be a good movie. I've been seeing a lot of reviews saying it's really good. So yeah. See you guys till then. Bye bye.